my name is Liz and I am going to be taking you through a 7 p.m. Wednesday yoga flow. Like, as always, I've said the last couple of times, I'm really struggling to keep track of the days at the minute, so I nearly forgot about this class, believe it or not. Hello Ava. So tonight's practice is all going to be about hips and back. So the focus of the practice is more so to do with the hips and the back. So take your time and find yourself laying down on your mat. Yeah, so lay down on your back. Now remember just to do exactly what you can and listen to the body. Pull back when it's needed and push forward when you know you need to, because we all know sometimes that we can stay in the comfort zone. That's the zone that we like to be in because we're in control. And sometimes when we push a little bit hard, we get out of the comfort zone and it feels uncomfortable. It's just because we're not used to having them sensations. So please don't let them turn you off, I suppose. So come on, lay down, get going. Take a couple of breaths in and out through your nose as you lay back. So soften the shoulders, allow them to melt down into the mat. Anchor your feet on all four corners into the mat also. You want to feel the back body making that connection with the mat. So in your mind's eye, feel the occipital bone, that big bone that protrudes at the back of your head, connecting to the mat. Draw the chin ever so slightly in towards the chest. That will lengthen the back of the spine and the neck. Take a deep breath into your heart center, and as you breathe out, let your shoulders melt back. Allow the chest to open more. Now just be aware of the natural curves in your back, the natural curves. The points that are touching the mat and the points that aren't touching the mat. Bringing your awareness and your energy down now into your hips. Feeling the two sit bones drawing downward. Feel the heel, right and left side, the little toe edge and the big toe edge of your foot firming down into your mat. You can turn your palms up or down, but this is really whatever you intuitively feel drawn to do with your arms and your hands. And as you settle here, can you bring your awareness to your breath? So breathing in nice and deep and extending out your exhale. Taking a full deep breath into your belly and allowing the breath to travel all the way from the back of the nostrils right down to the back of your belly button. Feel your belly rise and expand. And then as you're breathing out, feel the belly start to draw in towards the back. Feel the air travelling back up from the belly, up through the rib cage, chest, throat, and back out the nostrils. Bring your hands into Namaskar at the center of your chest. Connecting to your heart. And set an intention for your yoga practice. Taking a deep breath in. Exhale through the mouth, heavy sigh. Flutter your eyes open. Welcome yourself to your practice by sending your fingertips up towards the ceiling. Draw the elbows down, taking a breath in, firm into the elbows, and push your heart forward. You're flaring into the upper back. Releasing back down, send the arms up, round the shoulder heads, lifting them up and off, so you're compressing the upper back now into the mat. And then as you exhale, bring the elbows down, firm them into the ground, and flare your chest like your sternum bone is being lifted up towards the ceiling. Dropping back down, sending the arms up. As you reach, let the shoulders round. So this is really good for isolating up in the thoracic spine, which can be quite rounded. We're trying to segregate that part as we do this. Just do it at a pace that suits you. Remembering that when the hands come together, you round the shoulders, you like shorten the chest muscles, you reach. And then as you release, you bring the shoulder heads back. Elbows open as if you're doing cactus arms, and you flare your heart up towards the ceiling. A few more like this, please. Take your time. So tonight's practice is all going to be focusing in on the back and the hips. So that's our primary focus tonight as we move and as we flow. Strengthening the back, creating more space, mobility, and also strengthening the hips and more space and mobility in that area. I hope you're having a good Wednesday. Taking your time, just working as always towards your own edge. If there's any poses that don't feel so good tonight, just remember to back off. From here, I just want you to draw circles with your arm, and as you do that, keep this arm really still in the socket and pop it back down onto the mat. No other part of the body is moving, just that arm. Now make the movement slightly bigger and feel the scapula, that wingy part at the back of your shoulder, start to mobilize. And then hold. Allow that shoulder head to pop back and down onto the mat and mobilize onto the left side, please. You can soften your fingertips if you want. Just make sure that everything else is stable. Core is engaged here, belly is drawn in. And release. Gather the knees in. Allow the lower back now to curl up, and as you roll from right to left, feel the lower part of your spine get a nice release. This is where we hold lots and lots of tension. And also your hips are said to hold an awful lot of emotions from your past, present, and maybe even your future. So what I want you to do, if anything, I mean anything, laughter, tears, sadness, happiness is arising during your practice, allow it to come up and try not to suppress it back down again. So if your body is trying to have a release, allow it to have a release. Good, a couple more from right to left. Keep the knees directly over the hips. Take the elbows out again, that cactus arm, so they're nice and stable. You're going to slowly hinge, pulling those tummy muscles in. You're going to stop halfway. If this is too intense, just back off on the range of movement. Going now to the left side, obliques are firing up here. Pulling up, warming up the core, the back, into the hip area. Breathing out, and then breathing in as you return. Keeping the navel super firm here by pulling it into your lower back. Try not to allow the knees to come all the way down to the floor or the mat, just hover them just above. One more on each side. If you need to go slower than this pace, do so, yeah? You don't have to go this fast. When you come back to the midline, give yourself a gentle hug and then put your 2 feet flat on the mat. Be aware of the energy now in your feet and feel the heat in your shoulders and into your hips. Should feel good. The left foot stays firming down. You take the right toes, send them up towards the ceiling and draw them down to the bridge of the nose. That's the intention. If you're way back here because you're tight, that's okay. You can still have the intention of bringing the toes forward, yeah? If you're super tight, bend into the knee. And if you can, keep a bit of length. Start to firm into that grip that you're holding at the back of the thigh. Firm into it. Push the leg into the hands. Now take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, soften the push by drawing the leg in towards your chest. Keeping the left knee in towards the midline and some weight bearing on the big toe of the left foot. If you're getting tremoring, that's okay. Hamstrings have a lot to do with the lower back. They can cause a lot of trouble for the lower back if they're very bound and tight. So we're going to bring some space and length into them. If this is enough for you, stay there. If you can, start to glide your hands up towards the calf muscle, that big muscle at the lower part of the leg. Well, it's big for me, I think. Now point your toes and flex. So point and flex. And then hold the toes down and come a little bit deeper into the posture, only if it's available to your body. Release the clasp, allow the leg to go long, allowing some energy now to flow down through the hip flexor, allowing some space and just being aware of how you feel in the right side. Bend the knee, left side, let's go, leg up, toes back and down, deep breath in and push the leg into your hands, so push, push, push. As if you're trying to break the clasp, yeah, so there's a good bit of effort. Now on the next exhale, I want you to soften and draw the leg in towards the chest. Now you may notice that your right or your left side is tighter, one tighter than the other. That's perfectly okay. Pull the toes down, staying active. You'll notice the shift when you start to engage the foot also. So if the foot is quite limp and you start to actively move it, you'll feel a deeper sensation. If you want a little bit more, take the hands higher, up the leg towards the ankle area or the back of the leg on the calf. And then point and flex. And then hold. Soften into the shoulders and the chest. Even though the grip is strong, there can still be a little bit of softness in strength. Allow that leg to go long. Feel the energy flutter down through the left leg from the hip joint right down to the big toe. Crisscross your legs and I want you to take a grip around the little toe edge of your foot. And I want you to rock from right to left and slightly forward and backwards. Again, we're moving into the hip area. So remembering this whole focus tonight is going to be on them hips and back. And hopefully you're going to feel absolutely splendid afterwards. Okay, changing sides. So whatever knee is on top now goes underneath, reaching for the little toe edge. Side to side, forward and backwards. I really like the sensation that this creates in my hips. Such a simple pose, yet so effective. Well, I don't know if it's simple. Now gather the 2 knees in, grip the back of your hamstrings, the back of the thighs, roll on up and take a seat. Crisscross your legs and I want you to elongate your spine. Feel anchored into your sit bones, the 2 bony points of your backside, and if you can't feel them, separate the muscles, your glute muscles, and feel that sensation, that connection, that rootedness, that grounding sensation with your mat. Breathe in, lift up and lengthen through the crown of the head, draw the chin in and soften the shoulders. Interlace your fingers around your shoulders, bring your chin towards your chest. That same clasp that we had, You want to try and imagine that you're pulling the fingertips away and you're going to feel a lovely opening up in the upper back. And then as you exhale, allow the clasp to break, allow the palms to be facing up. Lift the chin so that it's level with the floor and soften the eye gaze. Keep the arms really strong. Start to feel the energy now flooding into your body as you move. Feel the heat. Feel the response to what happens as you move. Take the left hand to the right knee and we're going to come into a spinal twist. Lifting up, feeling space in your body, spacious in your body. Inhale, and then as you exhale, twist again. We want to make sure that we're not just twisting from the neck, that we're actually twisting from like the ribs into the lower belly. Take an exhale to unravel the body and just glide around to the left side. Elongate by breathing in. Your breath creates space. Now move on the exhale. Your spine is like a rigid rod sometimes. It's very important that we keep it mobile. Allow the body to unravel. Taking a breath in, firm into your feet. Make sure the ankles are flexed and engaged. You're going to hinge forward and you're going to reach forward with your hands. Don't bring the forehead down. You're just reaching forward with the arms. As you press down, you should feel an opening into the left side of your hip. That's if your left foot is forward. So just glance down. If you're feeling this in your right side, it doesn't matter. You can just change legs in a moment, okay? Good, then walk your hands over to the right. Keeping yourself anchored, you're going to feel these muscles all down the side body of the back open. Walk back to the midline. Take the hands slightly wider. I want you to just bend into the elbow joint. Don't bring the elbow all the way down, but just bend in and softly rock from right to left. Allow the head to go in so the back of the neck is opening. Remembering that your spine doesn't stop at the shoulders. Your neck is part of the spine. Come back to the center. Walk your hands over towards the left. Take a breath in. Reach, and then as you exhale, soften. Back to the midline. Taking a breath in, push off the mat or off the floor. Change your feet. Sit nice and tall, anchoring in. And as you breathe out, just glide your fingertips along the mat or on the floor. Yeah, whatever way you have yourself positioned. Take another breath in and then exhale, softly soften the heart, allowing the heart to fall forward, and then the body will just follow the heart. Firming into the ankle joint, so flexing through the foot to protect your knee and to create more space in that hip. Walking all the way to the left side, please, so to the left side. And change, coming back over to the midline. Take the hands wider and just bound the elbows, so bend them down and just bound. So what I mean by bound is like a soft bounce from right to left. So you can do it one at a time, you can do the two together. Coming back up through the midline and all the way over now to your right side. Bring the hands back and glide them back in towards you. Take a breath in and roll your shoulders. Coming over onto all fours, coming into cat-cow. Make sure that your hands are directly underneath your shoulders and your knees are underneath your hips. Take a deep breath in, allow the belly to soften and the tailbone to draw up to the ceiling. Round your spine, chin towards chest, firm into your feet, your knees and your shin bone. Soften the belly, let it hang. Allow your chest to melt downward, but keep your arms very strong. Feel each vertebrae separate in the back as you stretch up like an angry cat. Flex and bend at a pace that suits you. Connect your movements to your breath. Maybe close down the eyes and feel into the back body. Feel into the hips. And maybe take a moment to call back the intention that you set at the beginning of this practice. Revisit it a couple of times as you move and as you glide tonight. Holding here, finding neutral. Curl your toes under, take the hands slightly forward and bring yourself up into your first downward facing dog by pedaling down into the heels, right and left. Nod yes and nod no to get rid of tension in the neck and into the head. Allow gravity to pull the head down towards the mat. And as you breathe in, lift your hips up towards the ceiling, and as you breathe out, anchor into your heels. Soften into the fingertips. There's a firming grip with the fingertips, but it's not, you're not gripping. It's soft yet strong. Yeah, remember I was always saying there's duality in everything? Take a deep knee bend, walk towards the middle of the mat. You're going to come into a forward fold. Grasp the elbow of the opposite arm. Let the head be heavy and coming into dangling pose. I want you to do a figure of 8 with your arms. So imagine that you're drawing a figure of 8. Going right and then left. And then as you do this a couple of times, close your eyes just for a couple of rounds. Let your hips sway from right to left. They don't have to be rigid. This is organic movement. Hold the midline. Feel all 4 corners of your feet. Exhale, let your arms go round up through the spine, all the way up. Find yourself in Tadasana pose. Inhale, full height. As you exhale, forward fold from the waist, all the way down towards the mat. Inhale and halfway lift, lengthening the spine. As you exhale, bring your hands forward and step your foot back left and then right into downward facing dog. From there, take your left leg right up towards the ceiling and bring your left heel towards your right bum cheek, lifting the knee and firming down into the right heel. This arm is going to want to bend, yeah? Try and lift so that the 2 elbows are up in line with the ears. Feel the knee and the quad here start to want to come down. But we want to open that hip, so push, 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 firm into the quads, your thigh muscle up the right leg, and keep breathing. Allow that left foot to come over towards the right wrist, and then step back slightly to create more space and come into pigeon pose. Curl your toes under and push the heel back to lengthen the hip flexor. Staying nice and high for a couple of breaths. Press your shin firmly down into the mat. And make sure if this is too intense that you back off into the 90-90, which is here. You still get a nice hip opening pose. But if you can, you're going to keep this angle as much as possible, 90 degrees on the front leg as you lift up and over. And breathe into that hip. This is not passive, this is active. So in other words, I'm not just like everything soft and sinking down. Shin bone is strong and firmly pressing into the mat. Ankle is flexed, toes are pulling back towards the knee. Your arms are nice and strong, but you're light on your fingertips because your tummy is taking some of the pressure off the load. Press into the hands. Curl Curl the toes under, lift the knee to create a bit of space. You're going to come back to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, realign your body as necessary. Take a breath in and sigh out. Right leg goes right up towards the sky and the right heel goes to the left bum cheek. You anchor down and you lift, 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 lift. Remembering the left arm is going to want to bend, trying to counterbalance. So 2 arms straight, strong, elbows drawn up, knee up to the ceiling, and breathe. Squeeze your thigh muscles. Allow that right foot to come over towards the left wrist. Hop back to create space and sit yourself down. Whew. Make sure again you curl the toes under to press the heel back. That's going to allow you to get more comfortable in this posture. If you need to just warm the foot forward, give it a helping hand to anchor it in. But try not like collapse into your arms here. Like allow everything just to collapse. Engage the body, suck the tummy muscles in, and breathe in like to your hip. Have the intention of bringing your breath down there and allow the breath to dissolve the tension, dissolve the pain, and find space and comfort as you move tonight. Allow the hands to come down. Curl the toes under, stepping back into downward facing dog. Realign your body and softly hold the pose and connect with the breath. Now collapse a little bit. Disengage the arms, nod your head, soften your knees. Now I want you to feel the contrast, so sway into the right and the left hand. Now, push into your right hand. Feel the difference between your right and your left arm. Push into the left arm. Pull the shoulders back. Pull the belly in. Eye gaze towards your navel. Firm into the right heel. Firm into the left heel. And push, push, push. Keep pushing the mat away. Push your heart towards your thighs. Keep breathing. Bend the knees and step the left foot forward in between the hands. And if it doesn't land, assist it. Push into the back leg to create a bit of space and ground the back knee down. So right knee to mat. Stretching up, lifting up through the crown of the head. So stretching up through the spine. Push your fingertips back and down and push your heart forward as if you're coming into a back bend. Because that's exactly what you're doing. Bringing your 2 hands to the inside of that left foot. Take the left palm of the hand to the inside of the left knee and flare it open. You can untuck them toes if you wish. I'm going to allow the hip to fall over as I twist and press open. If this is too intense, back off. Allow the foot to find the mat, heel toe a little bit wider, taking a breath in. I'm going to walk my hands forward with the intention of bringing my elbows down to the mat. If they don't touch the mat and you're higher, you're bending in, stay there, yeah, and keep breathing. The more you soften the breath and it's not rigid and short and caught up in the upper chest, the more it's going to relax the body and the more range of movement you will create just by breathing a little bit deeper and a little bit calmer. Allowing your forehead to fall downwards. The back of the neck gets a release. You don't have to hold the neck long here. I want you to actually round. Pressing into the hands. Coming back into a plank pose. Plank is amazing for the whole body. Keep the elbows drawn in towards the midline, and I want you to round the upper back slightly as if you're piking. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath, especially at the difficult points. Now push the bum up and come into downward facing dog. You're doing a great job. Breathe it out, any tension. Nod yes, nod no. Strong downward facing dog. Eye gaze forward, a deep knee bend, right foot forward. If it doesn't land, always assist it. Push into the back leg to get length. Tap it down. Lifting up and firming the fingertips back, back, back. Opening through the heart. Pushing your hips forward and breathing deep conscious breaths into your lungs, into your belly. Take the eye gaze up. That will encourage you to go back and to trust yourself to open that front body more. Taking the hands inside that right foot, heel toe to get more space. Right hand to the inside of the right knee, push the knee away, allow the toes to uncurl if it feels better, or keep them tucked. Twist again from the navel. Making sure that you're listening to the body. If it's asking you to back off a little bit, do, yeah? It'll always tell you, and it'll send you signals of pain. Pain is like short, sharp, electric, whereas sensation can be sore, but it's more dull, it's slower. Coming back, bringing the elbows towards the mat, if that's available to you, or to whatever range of movement you can. Root the big toe back down and pull the hips back a little bit. So you're pulling back and you're moving downward. Press the hands down as you rise up. Take a deep, proud breath in, big smile on your face, and stepping back into downward facing dog. From here, we need to glide into that high plank, a neutral spine. So everybody's spine is different, whatever is neutral for you. Taking the knees down. Bring the heart, so knees, chest and chin, heart leads the way, hold up through the backside and take the elbows and pinch them in. Just breathe here for 2 to 3 breaths. Now scoop up and under into a baby cobra. Now baby cobra is a very strong movement, so the palms of the hands are pulling back and firmly in. Elbows stay in by the waist-side. Your heels are drawn in towards the midline slightly and your pubic bone is pressing into the mat. Lifting up as if you're peeling the chest off the mat. Soft eye gaze. Interlace your fingers at the base of your spine. If this is too much, put your hands back and down. Pull the knuckles down towards your heels and push the pubic bone down into the mat. Coming back into that baby cobra with the palms down. I want you to lift the right leg, but lift it from the hip, not just from the knee. So lifting up from the hip, right side. Keeping the energy in the upper back. If you need to release and take a breath and rejoin, do that. Put the right leg down, lift the left. Alternating sides, off you go, right and then left. Making sure that the 2 parts of the upper back, the scapula and the shoulders, they're drawn in like magnets towards each other. Keeping the length in your legs by reaching through the toe as you lift up from the hip area. Keep alternating, remembering that if you want to recover and stop, go for child's pose. Release the forehead down towards the mat. Allow the elbows to flare out to the side and the shoulder heads to drop forward. Then let the fingertips glide down by the wayside, left cheek down to mat and breathe in and out. Let your belly hang against the mat. Feel your heart beating against the mat also. Taking the hands again underneath your shoulders, pushing up into that baby cobra setup. I want you to lift the right leg followed by the left. Push your pubic bone down more and breathe. Lifting up through the crown of the head first. So you're lifting forward with the crown of the head and then you're bending back. Your option is to keep your hands exactly where they are, or you can interlace again, pressing the palms of the hands towards each other and knuckles down towards your heels. There's lots of heat now, I hope. Rippling up from your head right down to your toes, rippling all around the body. Can you squeeze your bum a little bit tighter and lift the toes a little bit more? Go for it. Lift the heart, keep pushing, pushing, and then release all the way down, right cheek to mat, soften, breathe. Coming into child's pose when you're ready. Take the knees the width of the mat for me. Allow the big toes to very gently touch towards each other. Bum slides back towards the heels and arms stretch along to the right and the left angle of your mat. Forehead down to mat. This should feel yummy, and if at any point throughout the remainder of the practice you need to just sit back and take a breath, stay here as long as you need to, okay? Bringing yourself up onto the knees, making sure that they're directly underneath your hips, so squeeze the backside. Get used to firming into your muscles of your butt. They're really powerful muscles, your glutes, and they'll also support the lower back. We are going to come into camel pose. Take a deep breath in, and I want you to exhale, just reach back. We're not going for anything, we're not reaching towards anything, I just want you to have the motion of reaching back. Drawing circles right and left from the shoulders, reaching back towards the foot. Without the intention of reaching for anything, just bringing the motion into the shoulder and the range of movement into the shoulder. Now curl your toes under, push your hips forward, squeezing your bum. Have the intention of reaching your fingertips towards the inside of the heel. The intention, they don't have to. So if it's not happening for you, just remember your intention is powerful, one day it will. Taking your time, hold at the centre. Squeeze your butt more, lift up through your chest and push your heart towards the ceiling. Take the right hand towards the heel and then square off. Take the left hand back, and as you breathe in and out, push your heart forward and lift your sternum, the centre of your ribcage, up towards the ceiling. You can keep your chin tucked here if it feels better, or you can lean back. If you need an option, you can shorten the range of movement. You don't have to do the full variation. Chin towards chest, right hand to the lower back, followed by the left. Sitting back onto the heels. Let the hands to roll down to your thighs, soften the shoulders, breathe. Okay, on round 2, we're going to make the range of movement even greater. So we're not going to have the heels, the toes tucked under. We're going to have the toes flat. So the heels are going to be further away from the body again. And if you're thinking, no thanks, not tonight, just stay with the toes tucked under. Yeah, so toes tucked under, closer, further away. Yeah, so coming into whatever variation you want, firming into your legs and drawing your knees into the midline. Feel your pubic bone and all the muscles here, like gather in towards the midline. Squeeze your bum and automatically, you see what happens, the hips go forward and you already come into this lovely extension of the back. Breathe in, lift up, soften the shoulders to create that space. Don't keep lifting or you're going to have shortened neck. So open, sternum bone lifts up, I reach up, I look back, I trust my body, I trust my ability, and I take one hand at a time maybe, and I edge back. I can keep my chin tucked, keep firming into the hips, drawing the knees in, squeezing the bum. Right hand to the lower back, followed by the left. Slowly and calmly sit back, sit down. Breathe, feel the support of your hands for a couple of breaths. And then once softness has come into the body, allow it to round slightly. Hands down on the thighs. Pressing down into your hands, curl your toes under, coming into a forward fold. Rolling up through the vertebrae, stacking them on top of each other. Feel that length, feel that lovely space and freedom that we've created in the body. Firm into the right foot. And I want you to flex the left foot and come up. Bring it just above the kneecap, not on the kneecap, so just above. So you really have to work the muscles. If I rested on the kneecap, I can disengage the muscles. So I want to lift up so that the body has to work. Sit back, sit down, breathe, hands in prayer position. Fix your eye gaze on a point that's not moving. Firm the knee downward towards the mat and flex the foot at the ankle joint. This is super important. I know it seems like such a small little thing, but it will make such a difference to your knees. Bring your hands forward into a forward fold, lengthen that right leg and bring your nose in towards your knee. Now from there, your option is to stay for a couple more breaths, or if you want, you can play around by hooking the toes around the triceps of the right, allowing yourself just to play with a little bit of air work, rocking forward and backwards. You might even just want to hop, or you might want to take the eye gaze forward and lift off. Tap down, and if you are still in the forward fold, I want you to bend the knee, bring the hands back to the heart, nice and steady, sit back, sit down more, and then stand up. Find your feet in mountain pose. Gather all the energy into the left side of the body. Feel it root down into the earth. Bring the right foot up above the left knee, so up above the left knee. I'm just profiling, you don't have to move around as much as I am, yeah? Make sure you press that knee down towards the mat. Bring your hands here. Sit back, sit down. Track the knee forward with the left leg. Eye gaze goes forward. Don't look directly down, it's very unstabilizing for the body. So allow length in the neck. Fix the eye gaze slightly forward. Take the hands forward, come into that forward fold, lengthen the left leg. Remember that your option is to stay there. Bring the nose in towards the knee as much as you can. Or you can hook the toes around the left triceps and you can just play around. You know, you don't have to lift off. You could just like hop. You can just get used to shifting the crown of the head more forward. If you want, you can always just lift off and breathe. Tapping down. Coming into that forward fold. Bending into the left knee, hands to heart. Creating that lovely centering, controlled energy. Sit back, sit down. Unhook and find mountain pose. Inhale, full length. Feel the height of this pose. Send your fingertips right up. Root down into your feet. I want you just to softly sway forward, backwards, side to side. Feel that freedom that you're creating. From here, exhale, forward fold. Inhale and halfway lift. Your hand position is a yogi's choice. Exhale, walk the left palm of the hand forward, followed by the right. Step back left and right to downward facing dog. Glide forward into a high plank, squeeze your bum. Take the elbows. I want you to come into upward facing dog. So we want elbows hinging in as you slowly come down, chaturanga, hold. Then upward facing dog is where you keep the hands firm on the mat and you straighten out the arms, heels in, butt tight. Curl the toes back under, downward facing dog. Exhale out. Bring the knees to the mat. Sit back, sit down, Virasana hero pose. Interlace fingers face the spine. Knuckles are firming in and down. Palms of hands, the padding at the bottom, top, middle, they're all pressing in as much as you can. Now the ribs are going to want to flare open and lift to open up more into the chest. Get your lower rib to drop and close down towards your hip. Pull this in. I always think like, you know, jeans out of the tumble dryer act. That tightness. Release. Coming down onto the tummy. Lengthen the backs of your legs. Taking a nice deep breath in. Bring the right heel in towards the bum and then followed by the left. You're just going to lift from the kneecap from there. Alternating sides, right and left. Just lifting from the knee, the hip, bending at the kneecap, but you're lifting from here, from the hip. Holding in, your option now is to reach back. You can do a half bow pose, which is just one side, or you can come into a full variation, where you grip around the ankle joint, and when you got the grip, you draw the knees into the midline, and you want to kick up as if you're trying to kick the ceiling. You can flex or point your toes, so whatever feels better. Now squeeze the elbows in, push your heart forward, and while you're doing all that, remember to breathe. Now if you are in half bow, I recommend that you change now. Bring the knees slowly down, let go. Sitting back into that hero pose, Virasana, take your time. Start to reconnect with the breath the way we began the practice. Making it full. Making the whole body expand as you breathe in. Visualize every single cell in your body grow as you breathe in. See it. And as you breathe out, see any toxic waste, whether it be energetic, emotional, whether it just be bad food that we ate. See it getting compressed and pushed out of the cells. See this in your mind. Breathing in, feel the expansion, see it, witness it. Breathe out, see all the negative Anything that does not serve your mind, your body and your soul being forced out of your cells. Breathe in, feel the expansion, feel the space, feel the love. Exhale, negative, dense energy, letting it go. Breathe in, breathing out. 2 more times. Breathing out. Final one, please, make it big. Let it go. Sit and observe. Flutter, open your eyes. Take the soles of the feet forward. Bring the knees in, round your spine. We have done so much extension. I want you to round your spine. Allow the head to fall forward. And if you want to even take the knees wide and round a little bit more, go for it. Now let the knees go all the way down. Take the soles of the feet in towards the groin area, creating almost like a diamond shape. If you have the range of movement to get a clasp underneath the toes, go for it. And if you're here, that's perfectly okay, but I just want to make sure that there's a strong grip, that you're actually making a conscious effort to pull yourself down towards your feet, no matter where you're gripping on the body. Slowly edge your way forward, letting the spine round. This isn't a straight strong, this is very passive through the spine, but yet very strong in the arms. Slowly release, crawling back gently. Allow yourself to lay back, lay down the way you began this yoga practice, feeling the back body. Feel the shoulders, the back of the skull, the length of the neck, the space from the earlobe to the shoulder. Place your hands wherever they feel intuitively drawn to go to. And now become aware of all the natural curves in your body, in your spine. Take your feet the width of the mat and windshield wiper right and then left. Right and left. Start to relax the mind completely. Don't concern yourself about alignment, how I need to breathe. Just allow this now to naturally occur in the body, this movement. It's safe just to let go and to not think as you do this. Take the hands up and overhead by clasping the elbows. And it's almost like you're making a little cocoon. If that feels too tight in your body, try cactus arms, so out by the side. And if that feels too tight, just bring the arms back down by the waist side. Holding here, take a breath in, and then exhale. Imprint your back into the mat. Gather one knee in and just bound it forward and backwards in towards the chest. Releasing down, imprint, keep that imprint, right knee in, bouncing it softly in and out towards the chest, keeping the imprint. Go left again please. Right, final time. Coming back now to neutral spine, allowing the imprint to come away from the mat. Exhale. You have made it. Allow yourself to find Shavasana. Legs go wide, arms go wide. Make like a starfish. Close down your eyes. And feel that lovely space, that strength that you have created through your movement into your hips, into your back. And remembering that if any emotions occur during this practice or during your Shavasana, that's completely natural. So allow them to happen. Don't suppress, don't swallow, don't hold. Release, let it go. Enjoy your Shavasana. I hope you enjoy this practice. As always, it's a super pleasure to teach. I'm absolutely loving it. So without you watching, there's no need for me to do this. So thank you so much. And from me to you, with all my heart, yeah, namaste. Now remember, Shavasana is 10, if not 15 minutes long.